This episode of Keeping Tabs is brought to you by Doot Loot, your one-stop shop for Japanese and Russian foils. If you spend $100 or more, you'll earn free entry into our online cEDH league this month. So don't miss out and upgrade your deck's bling today.
Welcome to Critical EDH. Santa's not the only thing coming down your chimney tonight.
Jesus Christ.
So good.
We're all remote today. I think
are.
we're all just trying to get through this. Not that we don't want to record a podcast, but like we have some other plans. It's Christmas Eve, so we got some stuff to do. But speaking
I keep
of,
thinking
go ahead.
of the Bo Burnham song content from the Inside special. It's like, look, we made you some content just in time for Christmas.
Yeah. Speaking of things to do, the Critical EDH end of year 25 Sprint League is happening right now.
It is indeed.
And it will run until January 4th, I believe. And the whole point is just if you want to play games over the holiday break, this is the way to do it. The entry fee is $20. It's paid for on the Top Tech event. And then you can just join our Discord and fire the games there. If you do sign up for the event, just make sure to tag yourself with the role, and then people will just ping the role and fire games. But we're doing something special with this one. All of the prize pool is going back to the players and the judges. So 100% of that is going to them and like none for us. And here's the breakdown. We're already over this sample down here. I think we have like 80 players signed up. So the prize pool is like 1,500 right now, and obviously more people will sign up.
Yeah,
I think
I like it just as a really good way to support the judges, right? They put in a lot of work, and they help. We would not be able to run the league without them. We tried, and it did not work very successfully. So,
True.
Any way that we can give back to them more than we do. So.
Yeah, it's been not that like our normal league games aren't already very high quality, but the games I've played in this, and whether it's the higher entry fee or whatever it is, like they've been very, very close to tournament level, and like not jank Swiss tournament level. Like the pods have been extremely competitive. They've been great games so far.
I heard someone say that their game was really intense but really good, and I was like, that's awesome. Like I want to hear that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost punted like locked win to max B, but still I managed to survive.
I can't believe they made you play that out. I was like, oh, Jordan has a resolve breach, and like walked away, like made some dinner, came back, and I was like, wait, why are we still here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a great game though. Super fun.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of the league regulars in there, like Max P, Higher, obviously Jordan, and I think I will try to play some. I'm signed up, but we'll see.
I think I'm gonna try to play some. I think on Sunday I have like a nice day where I'm not doing anything finally, and try to play up until the 1st, essentially, or until the 4th.
Yeah, Expedia is closed all of next week, so I'll have plenty of time to jam.
Nice.
Sweet.
Nice.
Alrighty. Speaking of other news happening,
Dude.
This story is absolutely wild to me. This has nothing to do with cEDH, so we're just going to start off with it. But
Tim's the crocodile hunter, dude.
So I did a little bit of research into this. I'm friends with Tim. Everyone knows that. But I was like looking on Facebook and I saw this. Tim caught a escaped emu in New York. There's like local pages, like whatever county, like scanner or whatever the pages they're called. Like it's just like local Facebook page, like groups and stuff. This emu was on the loose for like, I think a couple days and just like running around town. I don't know that it was like causing havoc or anything, but like the whole town, it's a small town, knows about the emu that was on the loose. And Tim caught it.
So crazy, dude.
He caught it. Like the video's wild with him just like pinning it down to the ground.
Yeah.
The best part is there's just like a cop that walks over and he's like, "Yup," and you're just like, "What are you doing, dude?"
So Tim and Tim's brother have been hanging out. They've been like, spending time for Christmas and shipping out orders and stuff. And Tim's brother posted this like apparently a bunch of people were involved with this, and like
Mhm.
Tim actually legitimately got injured in the process. So here he
Yeah.
is at the hospital.
Yeah, some cracked ribs.
You
His
can
leg is like
kind of
mega fucked
see,
up.
yeah, like
Yeah.
he had a giant gash in his leg, which I'm presuming is from the talons of
It is. It's from the talons. I was talking
the
to him about it.
dinosaur bird, dude.
Dude, it legitimately is a dinosaur. Like, like I think that we all think of like emus as this like just ground bird, this walking ground bird that looks like a flamingo, but it's not, right? But like no. Like look up emu talon like feet because those are actual dinosaurs.
I'm good, bro. Like I don't want to be anywhere near one of these fucking things.
Like, dude, these talons are like they're like 6 inches long, and I was like, why the fuck does this bird have such long talons?
If you
Dude, this whole
go ahead.
thing reads like AI slop, though. Like, even if you read this sentence, it's like the emu was captured and I've left it in the abandoned dollar store.
It just doesn't seem real. But like I was talking to Tim
Yep.
yesterday, and he's like, I'm doing good, and he had 15 staples put in his leg,
Jesus, dude.
Yeah,
and he has cracked ribs.
it's crazy.
So
that
anyway,
comment off to the side was like, I've had emus before, pure muscle and hate.
yeah, they're no joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it's like also it's just like very ironic that Tim was playing Derevi like last weekend right before this emu attack, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The bird boys stay together, bro.
Ty posted this, the Birds of
Yep.
Paradise, which I thought was funny, and I was like, actually, the best card for this is Heroic Intervention, but too bad it's
Oh,
like not a cEDH card.
It's so funny.
It like just this photo does not look real. Like just at all.
It does
not
look photoshopped. Like it's, I promise it's not, but it does. And then I used my iMessage to make a sticker of just Tim and the emu. Yeah, it's fantastic. And then I also made this one, Dramatic Rescue. But
Mhm.
it's such a Bant thing to do. Apparently, like it's green, white, blue. You know.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
So anyway, happy that Tim is safe and the emu is safe, and also Tim is not terribly injured. He'll recover.
Yeah. It seems like he's in really good spirits too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, what an
I would be too, bro. If I fought an emu and won, I'd be on like.
Right?
I wish
Like,
my
he
life
fought a
were that
dinosaur.
interesting. We have the Royal Rumble coming up January 24th, 25th.
I think we're all going, right? All 6 of us?
Yeah.
Is Eric actually going? I didn't know that.
Oh, actually, Eric might be doing Dude's thing. I have no idea what's going on with him.
I'm also not 100%, but I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'm stoked. I've been on a tear lately playing Chowder, and I'm super stoked to actually take it to a real tournament. Not that our locals aren't real, but like to take it to a large one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's feel really good.
I think there's only like 60 something people signed up, so hopefully we can get some more people signed up to this tournament before it gets too late.
Yep.
But I think the turnout should be good. It's also top 40 and cash prizing for top 40, so I think that's a really good reason to go and attend.
I
There's
don't know if there is a cut to top 40. I know the cash prizing is to top 40.
There, I believe, is still cut to top 16. I think it says that in there. But there is a gold at King's Court the day before as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're doing that.
That they are, because we land at like 3:30 on the plane of just Colorado cEDH players. And they said they'd be willing to push it back like 30 minutes to an hour if we're a little bit behind, just because there's going to be 15, 20 of us trying to play in that gold.
Bro, if that plane goes down, our scene is forever dead.
Oh, dude, we're actually dead. But I think we're all going. I think basically the whole team of basics is going. Most of the players, or a lot of players from Fort Collins are going, which is crazy because they don't usually travel. But I'm super stoked.
I think they caught the travel bug from Fishbowl because a few of them went there and they're like, I'm having so much fun. And I'm like, yeah, every tournament's like this. If you guys,
Isaac was just like straight fanboying over meeting a bunch of like cEDH tournament grinders, and it was so funny.
Yeah, he's like, I'm crashing out of the tournament, but it doesn't matter. I met all my idols.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you guys in the audience haven't traveled to a tournament, it's very fun, especially if you go with friends, and you'll make new friends at the tournament anyway. So like, even if you're riding solo, it's always a good time. Speaking of a good time, we missed this one last week, so apologies to the NJ cEDH crew. But we did want to talk about the solstice. This just happened, and the event was super interesting, especially like this top 16.
Yeah, the top 4 pod is crazy. Double Rockthrass, Lumra, and Firelord Azula is also here for reasons.
Azula putting up a result like this is pretty wild to me, because I'm not a believer of this deck yet, right? Like, I feel like there's so many other things to be doing in Grixis other than this, but I guess like the shell is just good enough, right?
The shell is good enough, and it does do some pretty stupid stuff, like the fact that it gives you firebending mana to cast your double Nas during combat is kind of crazy.
Sure.
Because you cast Nas, copies Nas, it's very difficult to interact with both of them. And then they're also on Krark, which is like fairly busted in here. But I don't know. I don't know that we're going to see a ton of results from the deck in general, but it is interesting to see it do well here.
I just like, there's just so many interesting choices in this deck. Like having a Baral and a Storm Drake in a deck that is like trying to go fast, right?
Yep.
Is like, there are just some interesting choices in here for sure.
Are we convinced the deck is trying to go fast and not just mid-ranging?
I would it's trying to go fast. I mean, that's what the Grixis shell is trying to do, right?
I mean, like, it's faster than other decks, but it seems like
they are pretty high on the Azula plan though, right? Because they're even running like Expedite and Crimson Wisp.
Yeah, but
try and get her haste.
There's no Necro.
There is no Necro. That is true.
So like, it just seems like cast Nas during combat and like, or yeah, stuff like that.
Or, wow, Frantic Search in this deck is probably bonkers.
Yeah.
Like,
draw
it's
6
mana, draw 6 or draw 4, discard 4, untap your lands. It's pretty gas.
Yeah.
Rakdos
is kind of nuts.
Deck.
Yep. I'm still like very down to the wire on if I'm playing Rakdos or Toph at Fringe Fest. But it's Tyler, I think, is the one who just won the 100-person event on Rakdos last month.
I think this deck is really interesting, but it dies to Drannith, and it has to find a way to like remove the Drannith.
Yeah.
It did get some fun cards from Avatar. I know that.
I think that Aven Interrupter is also a really good card versus decks like this.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I just don't know. I've seen this deck. I've never actually played against this deck, but I've seen it like next to me multiple tournaments.
We have a local that plays it.
Dude, it just looks super fun to play as well.
I think Mark Cirillo plays it. He's a local, and he's a big Play to Win fan. I think he's been a patron of theirs for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, he plays this, and it's pretty. I think this is the only deck he plays.
Any deck that plays Skirk Prospector, I'm interested in.
Yeah, we got Tim on Derevi on the Emu, Jorman on TK. Like, this is a pretty stacked tournament.
It's a lot of good players. There's also a Crick in there in the top 16, which is interesting.
Wait, where's that? Here.
Rockthrass is also there.
There's a few Rockthrases.
Yeah. Oh no, Krarkthrass. Krarkthrass got.
Sorry, my camera's in front of that.
I think both Rockthrases were doing like Cradle Farm stuff, not semi-blue stuff, but I didn't actually look at the list.
Let's look at this Krarkthrass real quick, and then I'll pull up the other.
Yeah, sure.
This seems like a
Krarkthrass deck.
Yeah, because you can do stupid shit like just cast Pyretic Ritual over and over again, and then just like dump it into Thrasios.
Yeah. Oh, Tandem Lookout's kind of crazy.
Pretty good. Deals damage to an opponent. Oh, it's like Kissing Flame Breather and stuff like that.
VV. Yeah.
He's running the VV deck in his Krarkthrass.
Yeah.
I don't hate that, actually, because you just like Creature Tutor, you get both of them out, and you're just like, okay, sick. And like Nature's Rhythm for 3, and you get both.
No Stormkiln's kind of nuts.
No. Stormkill's two cards to the right.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. There we go.
Yeah. Step through, bro. Where is it?
It's
actually
probably
true.
Is it not here?
I don't think it is.
Wow, a missed opportunity.
Wow.
All right, let's look at real quick at these Rog Thras, and then we'll move on.
Tom
Oh,
is someone that's actually doing well in our league, or did well in the November league. I
Yeah.
think.
okay. He's taking pieces of Sam's new stuff with like Ice Till in the graveyard.
Hidden Strings.
But he is leaning a little bit more red, right? Like he actually has
Yeah,
reach.
he's got Breach. Interesting.
Yeah.
I think this is the most fun deck I've ever played. Like I just picked up Rock Dress a week or two ago, and I don't know how good it is, but it is ridiculously fun.
It just like the amount of times where you're just like, all right, I'm gonna activate Thrasios, and it just
Yep.
like dopamine, like just a little bit of dopamine every time you like scry one and draw a card, right? It's why I like the Thrasios decks. It if you like that like style of deck, like I think Glarb is also up there, where you just like
Sure.
kind of just like you get to like look at the top card of your library and people get mad that you have information that they don't have, you know?
Yeah.
It's very funny. And yeah, I just I like those style of decks too. I don't necessarily think that they're great right now. But I guess Rogthras is putting up numbers again. Like,
Yeah.
surprise! What happens when people start cutting OBM? Then Rogthras starts doing well again.
That's
Uh,
true.
like, everyone's like being greedy, like we can cut this for another tutor, and now Rogdrasses are just doing their thing. They also got crazy upgrades in the last set, right? They like with
Yeah.
Bull Cub and Wan Tong.
Yep.
So
There's a lot
Cabbage is decent in there too. Yeah.
what is?
There's a lot of
Cabbage.
Cabbage Merchant.
Oh yeah, Cabbage Merchant, of course.
There's a lot of green in this top 16.
There is a lot of green. There's a lot of green.
I actually think Kinnan feels slightly more broken than Farm right now because of the Avatar cards.
I think that's a hot take.
I think it is a hot take, but Kinnan feels busted.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I was saying it this weekend that like if you put Kinnan into like the top 10 Kinnan players' hands, the deck just feels like fundamentally broken. But like there's so many people that play Kinnan that are not that, because
Sure.
like right, and like don't get me wrong, like it's still a good deck, it still does the thing, but like the when you see Waffle or Jason or Logan has been playing Kinnan now, like these Kinnan players, or Ian, right? Like they are terrifying with the deck, because you're just like, why do you have so much all the time, you know?
Yep.
But yeah, I'm a big fan of Kinnan right now. I do think that it's like 2A versus Farm, or 2B versus Farm being 2A, or sorry, 1A versus 1B.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That stack is disgusting, bro.
This is from locals. I played Kinnan. It was round 1. This player over here, to my right, was pushing on their Kinnan. So Jonah's across from me from MTG Basics, also playing Kinnan, and then Jay, our friend and local judge, is playing TK. So it's triple Kinnan and TK, and not my turn, but this whole stack started by this Kinnan casting an Enduring Vitality, and I put a counterbalance at flash speed on top.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, we need to fight over this. And then like just the stack just kept going. And we're like, we're going to draw this game. And the amount that Kinnan can push just kind of over top of people is insane.
Bro, look at your library. There's like 6 cards in there.
Look at his library. He's got 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
What's also funny about this game is immediately afterwards, me and Logan had a game, and it went about 5 minutes because Logan tried to commandeer my Ristic study, and
I did commandeer your Ristic study.
Yeah, that's true. You did commandeer my Ristic study, and I said, hey, I'm gonna just try to win the game now.
Unfortunately, like games like that are tough because you were in seat 1, I was in seat 3, and the 2 players diagonal, like in 2 and 4, they just were playing non-factor decks. Like it was Obnixilus and Toph, and we're like,
Toph.
You and I are staring at each other, going like, okay, they're not countering anything that we do. So you're looking at me, going, just counter it, bro. Just counter it, bro. I'm like, I have a commandeer. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah. I don't know. We talked like after that game, and Logan had like he had multiple pieces of interaction, but they were not counter spells. They were like misdirections and
Mhm.
Yeah.
Shoal, but you didn't have a way to counter Teferi that I put into play afterwards or something like that. But it is just like it's very entertaining to me that like you went from this slop pod to being like, oh, what happened in
But
that
like
game?
in this pod, I showed you my hand. Like
Yeah.
this does not represent my hand. I was putting spells on the stack, but like I showed you my hand during this, and I had what 8+ pieces that were
If not more.
yeah
If not more.
exactly. So I felt totally comfortable in this situation, and Kinnon's great in this. Like, oh, I'm gonna play the stack war and play the slop better than everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
But in a situation where it's just like one other quote real deck, it's so hard to navigate sometimes because like I need you to play my game, but I like don't
Yeah.
have tools to force you to do that sometimes.
Yeah.
And like if you just go off early, like if I don't have the counter, it's like okay, I'm just dead, or like we just lose.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you play into these like pods with only 2 blue players. If one of the blue players is playing a fast version of their deck, then the other blue player that's like trying to force mid range, they're just like, I'm the only one with an answer in my hand, and you're like essentially gambling as someone that's trying to push, right?
Yeah.
Because the other two people just like stare at the other blue player, like, are you gonna stop this? And you're like, no, like help, you know.
Yeah.
You even like told them like, hey, like I have all of this. Can you guys do one thing? And they're like, no. Just like,
They just
get
stare
cooked.
open mouth at their board, and they're like, no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's tough. Kinnon's a really good deck against other meta decks, but if you're in a pod full of non-blue, it's hard.
It's really tough. It's really tough. You essentially like have to try to like mulligan to like a turbo hand, but like
But what is it?
that
It's just like
version
it's
of
like
the deck,
mana plus win.
Basalt.
Yeah, I mean, but
You
like
just find a basalt and find a what's it called, like a outlet, but I don't know. It's really hard. Like Kennen is very very good at once it gets into like those top 16 games or like against like into the top pods, but I do think that if you like are stuck in the Swift swamp, it's not the best deck in the world.
farm is generically better, I think, but Kinnon is like the poison pill to farm, though. So like
Yeah, absolutely.
it's crazy.
Well, and that's why I tried to convince. That's why I convinced successfully Jason to go play it at the Invitational, because I was like, oh, there's going to be 50%.
He didn't do that well.
And then he just no. But he also just like didn't see a single pod in all 7 rounds that were a double farm pod.
Yeah,
which is like a free win for Kinnon, right? Not free, but you're
it's
in a
pretty
huge
good.
advantage state.
Yeah.
So
Jordan, you want to take Kinnon to Friday?
Maybe. I don't think I'm playing on Friday. I'm just doing Fringe Fest this week.
I don't think I am either. All right, moving on. We've got this really terrible low resolution spoiler, but
it's so sick.
New Ashling the Limitless. It's 2 in a red, Jeweled Lotus, neat. Legendary creature, elemental sorcerer, elemental spells you cast from your hand have evoke 4. And then whenever you sacrifice a non-token elemental, create a token that's a copy of it. The token gains haste to end a turn. Beginning of your next end step, sacrifice it unless you pay Wooburg. So this is a 5-color commander.
It's really interesting. It's like right on the edge of being actually super good. We were talking about it right before the show, right? It like it's like bracket 4.62. It's like so close.
It's edging bracket 4 and 5. It's so close.
Yeah. I do think that like we'll probably end up seeing this in the wild every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And like at some point in our lives we will probably lose to this deck and we'll be like, why did that just happen? It is also just a 5-color deck that like it's probably fine if you just stick to a 5-color good pile with like some random good elementals to like get you there. So we were like talking about some of the elementals and like think we have like some pulled aside that we can dive deep into. But it's just like a 4 mana
I could switch over
Nyx Bloom Ancient for a turn as like a ritual to like maybe get you there is kind of sick. I don't know. I think that there is some potential to this deck. It's a insane Delny deck.
It is a Delny deck for some reason.
Yeah.
So we've got this
So-
like kind of, it's not like a shell, but I use Nagila it's basically Nagila. Yeah, the card is so spoiled that it's not even not available on Moxfield yet.
Yeah.
But there's some elementals here that are really interesting. I think the Cavaliers are neat because they have ETB and die triggers, and there's 5 of them, one for each color, and like they are hard to cast. So the fact that you can evoke them for 4 generic is pretty cool.
Yeah.
The white one, ETB, is destroy target non-land permanent, and then when it dies, return target artifact or enchantment from your graveyard to your hand. So that's kind of neat.
Yeah. So like on an evoke, you get to kill like you exile 2 non-land permanents, and you essentially
No, you destroy a non-land permanent.
destroy.
Mhm.
So yeah, you destroy 2 non-land permanents, and then like grit 2 enchantments or artifacts back
Really?
in your hand.
So
for a turn.
let's think about it this way. With the way the card's worded, sorry, I keep going to that tab. The way the card's worded, you evoke it, right? And then the evoke, you get the ETB and dies, and then you get the ETB of the next one, and then you don't get the dies until end step.
Right.
So like if you're doing this main phase 1, you get like the ETB dies and then ETB. If you're going for breach, God, I need to close this tab. Okay. If you're going for like breach, Cavalier of Dawn is actually really sick because you can destroy someone's Rhystic Study,
Rhystic. Yeah.
and then if breach is in your yard, you just get breach back to hand immediately, and then cast breach.
Also, if Jason's playing this deck, he's definitely going to evoke, kill his own fish, return his fish to his hand.
The other cool thing is you can stack the breach triggers. So if you like just use value breach, you're like, oh guys, I'm just gonna value breach. You can have breach go first and then have the token go.
Yep.
And get breach back to your hand
Get
again.
breach back. Yep.
Cavalier of Flame is not that great, but it's kind of a wheel. So like ETBs, discard any number of cards, draw that many cards. Having that ability twice lets you just kind of filter your deck pretty quickly. And it dies, it deals damage to opponents, which you don't really care about. Cavalier of Gales is neat. It's Brainstorm, essentially. And then when it dies, shuffle it into its owner's library and scry 2.
Oh, wait, hold on. So when it dies, you shuffle it?
Yeah.
That's really interesting. That's actually way better than Brainstorm then. You're actually able to shuffle your cards away already, and then you Brainstorm again. That's kind of cool. I like that.
Right. And then Cavalier of Night, ETBs, sacrifice another creature. When you do, destroy target creature and opponent controls. That's not very good. And then when it dies, return target creature with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. So reanimate. It's kind of neat. Cavalier of Thorns is probably the most broken one. ETBs, reveal top 5 cards of your library, put a land from among them onto the battlefield and the rest into your graveyard. That sounds like excellent with like a breach strategy. That's really cool.
Yep.
And then when it dies, you may exile it. If you do, put another target card from your graveyard on top of your library. Do you want to explain how that works? We talked about that, Austin.
Yeah, so after the first evoke trigger, if you like let it die, and then you get the next one the token that comes back on your end step when you have to get rid of it because of the Ashling's ability, you can exile the token and put Cavalier of Thorns back onto the top of your library, which like lets you like continuously do this over and over again, or lets you do this every turn as a way to like fuel any type of strategy that you're actually trying to do. Whether we were kind of talking about like it being there's a very real Lumra version of this deck. I think this card just like fuels that plan, or it also just like fuels the breach plan very, very well if you are just kind of like hell-bent and like in one of those slop games. But I think that there's a possibility of this deck doing something. The Cavaliers are interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like Lumra is the best thing this deck can do, probably.
I think there's like a Lumra breach build of this deck with like Cavalier of Dawn, Cavalier of Thorns, and Delny.
Yeah.
Almost like a Naya version of this deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that there's something here, and like elementals as a type that will always get something interesting for.
It's largely underused in cEDH. There's really not a whole lot of reason to run it unless you're running like Lumra.
Right.
But even that's like not an
Um,
elemental like tribal deck. It's just Lumra.
Yeah, you can also run Nissa to just like keep churning out gas to get your elementals to
Oh
evoke.
shit! I forgot about
Yeah.
Nissa.
Which is really,
Yep.
really cool. Another card that I did want to shout out is Bane of Progress, just because it's like a 4 mana Bane of Progress is like nothing to scoff at. I think that's kind of sick.
I think that would go in this archetype that we're talking about
Yeah,
because
yeah, especially. But yeah, I think that it's just there's something interesting here. A 4 mana Maelstrom Wanderer is also just kind of gas, right? Like you still do just cascade off of
for
this.
generic, like, and it's on curve too, which is crazy. So
Yeah.
you play the commander on 3, you Maelstrom Wanderer on 4. That's pretty sick. I think that would go in this theoretical archetype we're talking about.
Yeah. Also, a shout out as one of the new cards. I don't know how to say that name, but it's like the one that you have like as a flip command or flip
Erdu.
thing there. Yeah, Airdo. Maybe not necessarily like this side. This side like maybe is okay, but the other side, if you're able to flip it, gives your creatures persist.
Yeah. So you were talking about like flip this, and then non
And then
tokens
your
have
evoke
persist.
elementals, like your evoke elementals, ETB, evoke, then come back because of persist.
And you
So
still make the token.
and you're still making the token. So like there's just a lot of like if we get more value type things, then like maybe this can start doing things.
Yeah.
But then like also at the like when you get to your first main phase, flipping this back into it, if you have like enough creatures, then you can like use those creatures to convoke more evoke spells.
Oh
Is like
shoot! You can convoke
Yeah.
convoke evoke, dude.
Yeah, so like there's a little engine here that like is kind of cool. I just don't know if it's there yet,
Right.
you know?
I also thought Titan of Industry is kind of neat because it's choose 2, and like the primary one's destroy target artifact or enchantment, and that seems pretty solid. Gaining 5 life and like making a 4/4 is fine. The shield counter doesn't matter, but
Is evoke specifically is sacrifice, right?
yes,
It's not destroy.
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say like that shield counter would be kind of cool because you could like if it was a destroy,
yeah.
Oh
you
yeah.
counter your own thing before it evoke dies. But no, I think this like getting to destroy Ristics and Mystics to like, hopefully continue your plan.
It's also just a huge freaking creature. Like
Yeah, that's true.
it's reach and trample. I don't know. There's something there. And then Rottenmouth Viper was one that I saw. I'm like, wow, this is a elemental I forgot about from Bloomburrow. As an additional cost to cast a spell, you may sacrifice any number of non-land permanents. I think you can still do that with Evoke, correct?
You definitely can. Yes.
So it's a sack outlet, which is neat, and you can reduce that Evoke cost, unless I'm incorrect about how that works. And then when it ETBs or attacks, put a blight counter on it. Then for each blight counter on it, each opponent loses 4 life unless that player sacks a non-land permanent or discards a card.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely something there. And being able to like reduce this to like evoke it out is kind of cool.
But like I think your opponents are losing 12 life on one cast of this, right?
Enters attacks.
Or no,
Yeah, 'cause
more.
you get
It's like 16, I think, because it's ETB trigger, your opponents lose 4, then it dies. Then it ETBs again, they lose 4, and then it dies. Then it attacks, then it gets another blight counter, and that's lose 8.
yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of sick. Definitely dangerous to like if you're looking to push life totals down.
Well, you can do this for essentially free.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like
Like,
free, your
especially
opponents
since, like-
lose 16.
Especially since of like you have some of the evoke elementals out that are not dying, then
Yeah.
you can use the Rottenmouth Viper to sack those to make them have get tokens.
Mhm.
Because the creature, the Ashling, doesn't care about if it's being sacked to an evoke. It just cares about it being sacrificed.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Whenever you sacrifice a
Yeah.
non-token elemental, holy.
Yeah. So like I think that there's definitely something here, right?
With Delny too, and this.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a lot of
Yeah.
life to lose.
Yeah.
And also, it is lose life, not deals damage. So it gets around
Yep,
one ring, gets
gets
around
ring.
stuff like that.
Yep.
Cool.
Interesting.
Last thing we want to talk about was this card, I think.
This card is the
Sundial of the
like,
Infinite.
the most broken card in all of Magic, and yet no one has ever broken the card because of yeah. But so realistically, how this works is you put all of the evoke triggers on the stack or the sacrifice token triggers on the stack at the end of turn, and you respond to it by paying 1 mana and ending your turn, so it gets rid of all of those triggers. It's very, very interesting. It also, oddly enough, stops you from getting blown out to things. Like if you like cast things and then they wipe your board or get rid of your commander or something along those lines, you can just end the turn and your commander stays there because it gets rid of all of the spells that are on the stack. It's really interesting. I love the card so much, but I do think that it might be more of a casual version of this deck thing.
Maskwood Nexus is 95 cents. This card is going to see $5, I think.
Yeah, possibly.
It just there's if you can resolve a Maskwood Nexus in this deck, you're doing probably really broken things.
Absolutely.
All right. Anything else about this deck? Jordan?
Maskwood Nexus.
Awesome.
Here, I'm gonna evoke a Grand Abolisher. You're like, oh
Sheesh.
fuck.
This was a few weeks ago, but I was playing a game where Matt copied someone's Oculus and then manifested his Abolisher.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's a special game action that you can't respond to. So just, here's an Abolisher now. You guys good to die?
It is literally why Yoshi Thras was playing that Oculus for a while.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, you're like upkeep, hold priority. I'm gonna special action, and people are like, "Oh no."
Also, those green decks just tutor out the
Oculus,
right? They don't actually cast it.
You don't have the cast trigger. Yeah.
I was talking to Jordan Drake about it, like when he was brewing like the very early versions of Tree Farm, and he's like, "Yeah, you just like creature tutor for 3, and like if people have problems with it, you're like, oh, I'm just gonna go get an Oculus, right?"
Yeah.
And most people are like okay with it when they shouldn't be.
But no, I think this deck's really cool. You know me, I like anything that's not one of the 5 decks that you're supposed to play and trying to force it to happen.
I'm predicting Naya with this deck. I think there's too many like powerful things that synergize here between these cards. If you're like very Naya shifted and then you have like a random Rotten Mouth Viper in your deck, then you're like you know, doing pretty good.
I mean, you just like keep the black tutors and the
yeah.
And you don't even really care about your mana base either because you just evoke for generic.
God, that's so nuts.
That is true.
Is there a way to reduce this evoke cost?
You can do it the same way that people have been doing with Monkey Yatsu, which is like any of the creatures that are cheap. Yeah, or any ways to make your creatures cheaper.
Oh, we talked about this.
Wait.
Animar.
Hold on. Not even just Animar. Wait, Heartless Summoning, dude.
Wait, what?
Heartless Summoning.
No, Animar's got to be gas.
Animar's really good in this for sure.
Yep.
But Heartless Summoning makes it so your evokes are 2.
Okay.
Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Especially since elves usually have big butts.
Yeah, and there's no clause on that either, right? Like if you had a way to reduce it, you could theoretically evoke for 0.
I think Risen Reef is actually good in this deck.
I could see that. Yeah, it's just like a value piece. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Depending on how elementally focused you are.
And also, it works with Delny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you just like start putting lands on, and it works with like Lumra as well.
Yep.
This deck is okay. I don't know if this deck's gonna be any good. I'm not making any predictions on that. I think it's cool.
You know what we're gonna do is we'll see it next year at Fringe Fest.
Oh, it's gonna kill Fringe Fest next. We can't. It's 5 color. It's 5 color.
It's 5 color. Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. You guys wanted to talk about this card, Appa, Steadfast Guardian.
Yeah.
This card's really cool.
It's very cool. I don't think this card was like seeing a lot of hype in our format when it was revealed, but people have been slowly putting it into their decks. Specifically, Tim on Derevi has been putting it into his deck, and I think that in the Bant Cradle Shell, so Yoshi Thras, and if you're looking at TNT as a Cradle version, it might want to look at this, but there are very interesting loops that people have been kind of exploring with this card. Because you can exile your clones, exile your Cloud of Fairies, and then cast the Cloud of Fairies to like keep going, and then use your clones as 2 mana clones to keep like making a ton of mana. And then if you like find a Felidar Guardian plus Appa can basically go infinite if you have a Cradle and a Cloud of Fairies. There's just a lot of like things that can work with this card. It does just fuel your Cradle because every time you cast a spell from exile, you also make a 1/1 ally. It's got flash, so it can protect some like very it can protect like very strong permanents on your side as like a protection spell. But I've been seeing this card pop up more and more, and I think it's really interesting.
Agree. Well, and we were just talking about like the reduction stuff. Like I know when this shows up in Monkiato, you're casting it everything from exile for free because of it. Like there's some really stupid stuff you can do with this.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a really cool card.
It like doesn't read
just
that strong. That's the thing, right? Is it really doesn't read that strong at all. But I do think that there is.
I think the main issue is the mana cost, but the rest of it seems okay. Especially like Austin said, like the modality of it being a protection spell. You can just be like, okay, well, you're gonna wipe my board, or like let's say like Psych Rift me. It's like fine, let me airbend everything, and then you Psych Rift my Appa, but like that's a positive for me.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I think that part's really interesting.
Stupid interaction you can do is flash in Appa to blink your Flood Caller to go on top of someone who's trying to go on top of you, because then the Flood Caller has flash from exile.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Like there is definitely relevant stuff this card can do.
I think it's like specifically the decks that are like Bant big mana decks is something like those decks are supposed to look at this.
Yeah, Derevi,
like
Derevi. Exactly. All right, we wanted to talk very quickly about our lists that we're playing this weekend for the Fringe Fest. So as a reminder, the Fringe Fest is a local tournament we have every year. It's kind of like a December thing with end of the year. Let's have some fun. And the special rule set is that all popular and or powerful commanders are banned. So no partner commanders, no 5-color, most 4-color are banned, and then pretty much anything just like Tivit's banned, just like Kinnan, anything that's anything is not available.
Yeah. Plus some local all-stars you're not allowed to use your decks.
Saying that it's like target banning people is like not exactly how we're doing it, but we want those people to play other decks is really the thing.
For sure. Yep. Kevin has walked up to me multiple times and he's like, hey, why is Chatterfang on the ban list? And I was like, dude.
Because he will win the event is the answer. Like,
I was like, we're not just donating to the Kevin fund, bro.
Yeah. It's Kevin gets a Grim Monolith if he plays Chatterfang. Yeah, so the prize this year is, let me just pull up the event real quick. The prize is winning a Grim Monolith and some cash and stuff, but here's an exhaustive ban list of things. And if top 13 get your money back, and top 4 get $100, and first place gets $240. Like, pricing is pretty damn good for a small event.
Yep. It's just fun. Like, it's a really good opportunity to get to play a deck that people are like really passionate about, but it can't hold its own when it's in a triple farm pod or whatever. Like it's fun.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Like the most important thing is that you can play whatever deck you want at any time, regardless of the event, right? But we're kind of leveling the playing field so that it's a little bit more balanced.
Yeah, like I was playing some practice games with Jason and Jax, and like Grixis is still stupidly good. Like Marchesa is definitely not the best Grixis commander in the world, but it's a really good shell.
But it is a Grixis commander, therefore.
It's a Grixis commander, yep. It's a and then there's commander that might draw a card and might also fuel breach if things has gone bad.
Yeah. Well, and then there's Jason growth spiraling over and over and over again. and then I was playing Toph. And
Oh yeah, so
doing
we
this.
have up Jordan's list
Yeah.
right now for Toph.
I think we're all gonna like talk briefly about it, or each of our decks. When Toph has a good hand, the deck feels like super broken. But its good hands are pretty few and far between, and it just needs time. And I'm a little bit hopeful that Fringe Fest will give it the time. My version of the deck is a little bit more like generic good. I mean, Naya good stuff is kind of an oxymoron, but generic Naya good stuff. Because I think the deck makes infinite mana extraordinarily easily. That's like not the thing it really struggles with.
I mean, I don't see any
It
cards here
does.
that I don't recognize off the top of my head. Like these are all good cards.
Yeah. There is an Elsewhere Flask in here, which you've probably
What
never
the
seen before.
I've heard of it.
When it enters, you draw a card, and then you can sacrifice
Hold
it
on,
to
what is this sort
choose
of
a land. Mana value, probably. Yeah.
Yikes.
It's
Okay.
it's a generic 2 mana rock that when it enters, draw a card, then you can sacrifice it to give all of your lands of whatever basic land type you choose.
Oh, nice.
Oh, interesting.
Which is like stuff that Toph wants to be doing, and then you can earthbend this to draw 2 cards if you're like really down bad.
Naya's always down bad.
I do
Naya
like the
is always down bad.
Shredder in this deck.
Codex Shredder and Peerless Recycling is a very fun win condition.
Yeah.
Where's Peerless Recycling?
It's an instant. So you cast it, and you can gift someone a card. They have to draw a card, and then you crack Codex Shredder to return Peerless Recycling to your hand. Cast Peerless Recycling, gifting a card, returning Codex Shredder to your hand. So you do it after you've already milled everyone out, and then force them to draw a card. And at that point, you have infinite mana, so it doesn't really matter what happens.
Oh, so you don't. Yeah. I see. You don't have to gift a card until you're ready to force them to draw.
Exactly. You mill them out first, and then you force them to draw a card.
Neat.
Wait, can Peerless Recycling stop a Thoracle Decon? It can, right? You just like force them to draw a card.
Yeah.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
Yeah, dude, the deck's really fun. Staff of Domination and Yavimaya is crazy because Staff untaps it or taps for mana, and then if you're on Blossoming Tortoise, you can untap it for free. Yep. It's just like it does really stupid stuff. It doesn't usually have time to get to do the stupid stuff, but hopefully at Fringe it will.
I think you'll have more time.
Yeah,
I think so too. I think we're gonna see quite the pile of Esper commanders.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone's favorite cat girl will definitely be there in spades, I'm sure.
Ishtola, yeah.
The problem that you're worried about with the Esper commanders is specifically Drannith Magistrate.
Oh,
right?
for sure. Yeah, Drannith just cooks the deck. It's there, you can't do anything.
I'm gonna be playing Master Keys. It is a passion project of mine. I think I look at this deck every 2 or so months and be like, "There's something here," and then I play it and I'm like, "Nope, there's still nothing here."
What printing of Drannith is this? Magic Online promos? Come on, dude.
I don't look at the printings, bro, when I'm building this deck.
Jesus. It's a passion project.
It is a passion project. I have retooled the deck to be basically hard controlled pivot with like the pivot plan of casting Animate Dead 10 times and saying counter it, please. I think the deck's really fun. I don't necessarily know if it's very good. Actually, I know it's not, but it should be fun for Fringe Fest. So the idea is that you're trying to win with Abdel loops to make infinite mana, then cast your commander for infinite mana to mill yourself out, and then animate dead at Thoracle.
Or Tiny Bones joins up.
Yeah, you can also just like win Tiny Bones joins up. There's a really cool intuition line and Gifts Ungiven line where you give them animate dead, Abdel, Adrian, and Tiny Bones, and no matter what, you can find what you need.
That's so dumb.
I think Damping Sphere is actually bad in this deck.
It's really easy to get rid of it when you're deciding to try to win.
Maybe, but it can't win through it. So like I think it's causing you more problems than you might just use it as a flex slot. Like I would just cut it and put something else.
Yeah, I mean it's possible.
Like Talisman of Progress is essentially better than Damping Sphere.
Yeah, it's possible. One card I really do like to shout out is if you go to the enchantments spot, Founding of the Third Path, which is, that card is just kind of bonkers in the deck. So if you cast it for 1, you can like read ahead and you just use the first sign.
How are you casting it for 1?
Or sorry, when you cast it just for the first chapter,
Oh, okay.
then you can like, it's essentially a free spell. You just like are putting it into play and then are able to like cast your demonic tutor or whatever you're trying to do with it. But where it really shines is on stage 2 and 3. Stage 2, if you have Master Keys and you're Abdel looping without infinite mana, you can actually mill your whole deck because you can read ahead to chapter 2 over and over again. And then at your last Abdel line, you just Thoracle, you like reanimate Thoracle, which is really cool. Also when you,
because you just go to 3 and reanimate it, like using.
well, Abdel blinks it. Abdel blinks the Founding,
Yeah,
and then it comes back and you read ahead.
to 3 is what I'm saying.
You just keep going to 2, right?
Yes, yeah, I understand. Like you mill your entire library, but then you can read ahead to 3, and then like exile like reanimate.
Animate.
You literally don't need to do that. Then on your last time that your Abdel comes down,
Yeah.
or last time your animate dead comes down, you just animate your Thoracle.
Oh,
right,
instead of
right,
targeting
right.
Abdel.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like it's really, really cool. Also, you are able to like loop, like if you have this in your graveyard, you can just cast it from your graveyard to exile a spell from your graveyard and copy it, which is really interesting.
Like
also-
like a silence or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is just kind of a powerhouse card that like feels not great, but it is insane in the deck. It also, if you were able to cast this in from your hand, you cast it and exile a spell from your graveyard, and if there's a Dranith end play, you can still use it. Or not Dranith, a Grafdigger's Cage, which is like the bane of this deck.
Oh, yeah.
Because it exiles the card and then copies it, and then you cast the copy, which is kind of cool.
You might want to put like the enchantment Rector in this deck.
Possibly.
Oh, Academy Rector?
Yeah, Rector. I just don't have a lot of ways to sacrifice it.
Necromancy sacrifices it.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah,
And, well,
I don't know.
it seems like Necromancy, like looping Rector every turn seems solid.
That's true. That's true.
Can you loop Rector? Because you have to exile it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess
Also,
not.
like the deck can just like main board, quote unquote, a Meat Hook Massacre, and it like doesn't feel bad.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that, like just being able to wipe everything off the board. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I played a Meat Hook in Tev Rogtev, and
Okay,
Dargo Tev,
sure.
and Meat Hook was excellent because just
Yeah. I like the deck. The deck is really cool, and in reality, is they are going to continually print broken enchantments. So eventually, the deck will be good. I do think that it's like a few treasure generators. Like if we keep getting like Lothos and Tatarus printed, then the deck has a lot more legs into it.
You know how there's like artifact lands?
Mhm.
When are there going to be enchantment lands? I feel like that's going to happen at some point.
It's possible.
That would be sick.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
definitely
we got
possible.
Saga creatures, so enchantment lands doesn't
Jesus.
feel like a.
Well, I guess Earth
reach.
Saga is a enchantment land.
No, but
Yeah,
I mean
that's
like a monocolor enchantment land.
Yeah.
Like,
For sure.
yeah.
But yeah, I think
Very cool.
I think the deck's really fun, and I'm playing it as like hard control. Like it's running Commandeer, and like I think it's on like 17 pieces of stack interaction, so it's
Let's
pretty fun.
real quick. I just wanted to compare to my Tivit to see what interesting. No Savins, no Grand Arbiter.
You don't really need Savins because you can recur the enchantments you care about without it.
But that's an expensive cost, to be fair.
Yeah.
Because like just straight up Savinsing a anime dead sometimes is like excellent.
Yeah.
No Saga, interesting.
I just don't think it's like absolutely necessary.
No Ranger Captain, no Abolisher. That's interesting as well.
Yeah.
And Yogg's will. Okay. Yeah, I mean I understand like why these cards are in Tivit, obviously, because I play the deck, but like
Yeah.
why they're not in yours makes sense as well.
Should be fun. Stoked to play it.
Speaking of control decks, I'm playing Short Guy.
The most.
And yeah, this deck does not mulligan poorly at all. It mulligans extremely well, and I think that's going to be a very important, because if people are playing bad cards, just having the ability to mulligan well is probably just like a leg up over everyone else.
Any spicy includes for your Shorkai?
I'm liking Aven Interrupter just because I have mana and sometimes like nothing to do, and it's a good way to stop Abolisher and then also stop breach lines and random stuff from exile.
Yeah. I think that this card, specifically Aven Interrupter, I think it's just kind of underplayed in general. 3 mana feels like a lot, but the card does a lot too.
The coolest thing I think about this card is that it doesn't say exile target spell until Aven Interrupter. If it leaves the battlefield, it's still exiled. For me, I can use Displacer Kitten and Aven Interrupter to control the stack better than everyone else can, because I can just keep blinking Aven Interrupter and then remove the counterspells from the stack. And once you do that, the counterspells don't do anything, because once they're exiled, they're plotted, and then you can cast them as sorceries. So like those instants don't do anything once they're plotted.
I actually lost in the league to someone making infinite mana with Derevi Emil and then had an Aven Interrupter in play, and you're just like, oh, the game is over.
Yeah, because they just can blink the interrupter.
Yeah, like no matter what someone does, it's plotted, you know. Like other than an Odawara, right? Like that's your only out. It's not a good out.
Yeah, I was also goldfishing this, and I like had a lot of mana of Flood Color, and then Dom, our friend Dom, was like, "Hey, don't you just like Shorkai on someone's end step?" And I'm like, "Huh?" And he's like, "Yeah, Shorkai is not a creature, and so you can cast Shorkai at instant speed with Flood Color." I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's kind of a neat."
That's gas. Yeah.
Yep.
And then we've got like our normal draw engines: Archivist of Ogma, Wan Shi Tong, Clones and Mockingbird, and Metamorph. And for me, like, I'm running Supreme Verdict. I'm going to put in a Vanquish the Horde, so I'm looking for a spot for that. Nice. I think just double white, destroy all creatures seems pretty freaking good. And then like really heavy instant package, a lot of blue instants. I think I might like pull Flood Maw for like that Vanquish, because I just don't think it's necessary. Sure. Nothing too stand out here, I don't think. Maybe like Misdirection, I might pull that. And then really big artifact package, not like massive, but some heavy hitters in One Ring and Unwinding Clock, and just being able to do those things with Shorkai, like that seems really powerful. Voltaic Key, Manifold Key, having both of those just to untap, and obviously Dramatic Reversal. And then running stacks pieces like Grafdigger's Cage, Cursed Totem, just to try to wrangle the rest of the decks at the table. And then I get to run Coveted Jewel.
Nice.
Super excited about that, because
that's very fun.
With Displacer Kitten and Coveted Jewel, it's very, very hard to lose.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's crazy.
Man, Shorkai is exactly Tolarian Academy unbanning from being an insane deck.
It really is. Yeah, Blind Obedience as both a win con and also control piece, and all the copy enchantment mirror made. Steel enchantment might get cut, because I think we're not as concerned about stuff, but like stealing a necro is kind of interesting. Dress Down as an instant speed deal with creatures type of thing. I don't know if that's going to stay, but I feel like it's a good call for this current situation. And then lands, nothing too special. On Cephalid, might go off of that and back on City of Traders. And
I like Minamo in the deck.
Yes, Minamo.
I think Minamo in the deck feels really, really good.
Yeah, Minamo is excellent. Mishra's Workshop, I think, is also really, really good. Pays for 2 of Shorkai, pays for most of Unwinding Clock and One Ring. And
just scroll down 3 cards right there. There's that baby, dude.
Tabernacle, I think, is correct. It is, yeah. Playing Tabernacle is going to be a brutal thing for a lot of decks to take care of. And I'm literally on +1 land of where I should be. Like, I think we're on 26, 27 plus MDFC, and then just like adding a Tabernacle is pretty solid.
Do you think it would be smart to run like a Yavimaya or a Urborg just to like help with your Tabernacle, or do you think it's not necessary?
I don't think it's necessary. The deck makes stupid amounts of mana. I'm on like every mana rock except for the Zoria Signet.
Okay.
So I'm not that concerned about it. And if I don't hit the Tabernacle, then I don't hit it. But if I spike it, then like people cannot win, I don't think.
You just can't really treat it like a land, right? Like that is absolutely not an actual land.
Correct.
In your land count.
Yeah.
But I think it's good. I like a Tabernacle deck.
So yeah, this is where I'm sitting with Shortkai right now. Been playtesting the deck a little bit. Feels solid. And I think it will be really good at drawing games. Hopefully I can win some games with it.
Yep. I'm super stoked for Fringe. Did you guys have any other like options of decks that you were going to play?
Rakdos and Y'shtola were the other main two I was looking at.
I think for me it was just Maelstrom Wonder.
Yeah.
Dude, I think actually Maelstrom Wonder is such a good choice in this, like, in Fringe, because, like, counterspells don't matter against that deck. I don't know. My choices, I was thinking about playing Marchesa, Dealer of Death. I think that deck is really cool. I'm pretty sure Jax is playing that now.
He's between that and Y'shtola, I know, but I'm pretty sure he's playing Marchesa.
He's also thought about just 1-for-1 switching Marchesa and
wait, you cut out. You cut out, Austin.
Yeah, it's just Kess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he's been thinking about playing Kess. I think Jason and him had a conversation about it. And then the other option that I was thinking of was Helga. I think Helga semi-blue that can actually run interaction is interesting to me, specifically, and I think like a somewhat controlled meta that I'm expecting. I think like Helga is super, super intriguing.
For me, what was important was not staring at a wall, and I think that there's a high chance of me doing that if I play Maelstrom Wanderer, because everyone's assuming that this is going to be a very commander focused meta, since that like all of the generic good stuff is banned. Therefore, you kind of are forced into a more commander centric strategy. So therefore, cards like Draneth will be more powerful, and Maelstrom Wanderer will stare at a wall if it encounters like a Draneth, and I don't want to do that.
Yep, that makes sense.
And like Shortkai does not care. Like, okay, I can't cast my 4 mana draw 2. Like, fine, whatever. Yeah, Fringe Fest should be fun. We'll have some content and hopefully a live stream from that event as well. I think we're trying to set up some interesting, unique stuff for that. We've been able to stream from Enchanted Grounds from before, like for other events, and that was earlier this year, but hopefully we'll be able to do that this weekend. So check out some news on Twitter and our Discord for that if you want to watch some weird games of cEDH.
I probably need to jump here.
Yeah.
But obviously, please continue in my absence.
Sounds good.
But Merry Christmas, everyone. And I hope you have a very happy New Year for those who I don't talk to before then.
All right, Jordan. Merry Christmas. We'll see you.
Christmas.
Dude, you went full horizontal.
Dude, my feet are up on my desk right now. I'm chilling, bro.
Nice. Okay, we are back. We lost Jordan to the holidays. R.I.P.
Dude, he's down for the snow. The snow that doesn't exist out there right now.
There's no snow out here. And also, it's like, crazy. I think California is supposed to get like between 100 and 150 inches in the Sierra Nevadas. Like,
oh, in like Tahoe area?
Yeah, dude.
Dude, I think, was it Tahoe or... I think it was Tahoe last year. They like actually got buried for like 3 weeks.
I think that's happening again.
Like people couldn't get out. Like people like intentionally got up there so they were stuck there so they couldn't work, and they'd had just like a ski holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really weird because like also the like Airbnb people, like they can't really do anything to kick them out of their Airbnbs because there's nowhere to go.
You can charge them, I guess.
But like what if they just say no?
Lawsuit territory.
Yeah, for sure.
So we've got a few questions from Adnaz. We've just been doing this every week. It's really awesome to get to connect with the community and talk about some things that people want to talk about. And we didn't have any specific questions for this week because we forgot, but we'll continue to make the weekly threads next week and onward. But these are some leftover ones we didn't get to last week. Adam says, in a few recent games, someone is clearly going for the win, but since I have a value engine online, I become the perceived, quote, next biggest threat. Then the other two players lose interest in helping interact because, and basically let the win attempt happen. How do you keep these players engaged in stopping the attempt without having to make big concessions like, I won't win for a full turn cycle? Is there a good way to have the table keep fighting for a draw and then convert to a win without being an asshole?
This is a great question. I think there's a lot of variables that go into like actually answering this question. A lot of times when I'm in this situation, I will actively be like, yeah, I can't stop this, right? Like if you guys want to try to fight for a draw, then like let's fight for a draw. But if you can't, if like we can't, then we're kind of screwed. And then I'll kind of show information as much as they're like looking for. I try not to show my hand anymore. In those spots, I will show that I don't have any pieces of interaction that can stop the Thoracle or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the times I'll show pieces that can back up the thing to like enforce that I'm part of the team. So like for example, like showing misdirection or something along those lines. It's just really hard because good players won't allow you to like not make a deal with them, right? So I don't know. It's pretty tough.
Emily and I had a game with Lily and Jordan Drake last night where Emily basically was like pushing for a win, and then there was a whole stack war, and not to like spoil the outcome of the game, but she had like a very specific, well, I don't have a reason to interact right now because like I think I just lose anyway. And I think that the card pool in cEDH is so dynamic right now that it's basically, outside of certain situations, very unpredictable as to what can happen. So I think sometimes interacting when like there's 2 wins on the stack, she actually targeted a spell further down on the stack to target like and not really interact with the things on top. But that spell mattered in a way that like the game was able to continue to progress. But I think keeping the game moving and trying to play to all of your outs and reminding the other players like, yes, I have an advantage state, but that doesn't mean that I have the tools necessary to deal with this particular interaction or what's happening. I think this is one of the challenges that we as players constantly run into is how to navigate these situations. And a lot of times this doesn't have to do with like the cards you're running in your deck or, you know, play patterns and stuff like that. It's just like literally using your words. And I think this is one of the challenges that comes up frequently.
Yeah, I agree. Again, there's just so many variables in this spot. It also just like doesn't feel good sometimes, right? Like getting over that feeling of like manipulating a player to interact so that you can try to win on top of them. It doesn't feel great, and like that might not be a good way to put it, but it does happen, right?
Yeah, and I don't think you should really feel bad about that to an extent, because like I'm working on this this like blue interaction suite video, and one of the spells is Born Upon a Wind, and like that's not a spell that interacts, right?
Right.
But like winning the game is a form of interacting with what's on the stack.
It is really interesting that you say that. Like I used to think of like my interaction suite as like, hey, these are spells that directly interact with the stack, right? And I have sensed now that I've been playing Chowder, and there is a lot more spells that people just can't let resolve. Those are also interaction spells, right? Like one of the best interaction spells in our format is Ad Nauseam, because people are like, no, we have to bury that. Like you're not allowed to have that card, right?
There's the difference between stack interaction and like game state interaction. Ad Nause and Born Upon a Wind are like game state interaction. You're reformatting the game state to be like, no, you can't pay attention to like what's below the stack. You need to pay attention to like what's on top of the stack. Even in that picture I showed earlier where it was like triple Kinnan and farm, there was a point where things got really thin as far as like what I could do. I had a piece that I had like the flood caller, and the person to my right who was trying to win the game was trying to reformat the game state by auto warring my flood caller. I didn't have a way to interact with that in blue green in Simic, right? So I need to reformat the game state again immediately in order to continue like progressing, like, and that means
Right.
playing on top of the stack. So I had to put something on the stack, which was essentially like a instant speed tutor for Basalt Monolith, and like they had to respond to that and like forget whatever's happening below. So you kind of have to like rephrase or like reframe what's happening.
I mean, going back to like the actual question, like stopping the win attempt without having to make a big concession, like I won't win for a full turn cycle. I really put a lot of caveats into my deals that I do with that. Is like, oh, if people go for a win and I have my way of stopping this win is winning, then I'm going to just do it. Something along those lines, right? Like,
yeah, I just don't make the deal
I'm
like
okay with this. Yeah,
that's not in my vocabulary. Is like I
Yeah.
won't win for a turn cycle. I don't think I've ever. I have said that in the past, and I've stopped saying that because like there's. I'm like, no, I'm not agreeing to that. Like there's got to be something else we could do to
right.
stop
right.
their win now.
I do think that like I definitely still do say it, being like, okay, I'm gonna stop pushing and I'll just essentially pass the turn, or I
That's
will agree
different
to
though. But
like
like not winning for a full turn cycle is
full
crazy.
turn cycle. Yeah, or like again, like if you're gonna offer something like that, you have to be like, okay, I'm not like again, there you have to like put so many caveats to that statement of like, okay, I won't go for a full turn cycle, but if someone goes, then this shit is null and void, right? Like I'm okay with us all like land going until we go again, right? Or something along those lines, like maybe, right? But it is something that I've kind of stopped saying
It's
completely.
unfortunate too because I think players and I might sound mean saying this, but I'm just gonna say it. Like I think players that try to make these deals against opponents are like, well, you know, I need you to stop winning or whatever. Like I think it's just kind of like a losing mentality. You don't win games by like. I mean, you can win games by putting your opponents in, like making them make bad deals, but it's just at the highest level, it's not realistic, and like the players aren't going to take the deal, and everyone knows what's happening. Somebody's trying to win. Let's stop them. Do I have any outs for this? No.
Yeah.
Do I have any good outs or like anything I can do? I might have like a very fringe case, but like I'm willing to show that to another person. Be like, look, Jordan, all I have is this one card, and it's like really bad. It doesn't really do anything. And he showed me like a decon. Like he's like, this is all I have to deal with this. And I was like, okay, rip the decon. Like it.
Yeah.
That's where we're at. And like if we lose because of it, and like he exiles his entire library because he hits it in the top 6 or whatever, like okay, like there's next game. You know, there's things that happen.
I've recently played a game with like Raul, specifically about like decon. Like he just put a decon on the stack and said, "I'm offering a draw right now. Like I'm not going to resolve the decon."
What does that
And I
account
was like,
like?
"That's interesting to me. I don't know if it should work all the time, but like there he went through like 3 weeks of deconning and it being in the top 6 every time, and he's like, I don't want to whiff. I don't want to whiff.
I was in those games with him. Like I was in, I think at least 2 of those games where he's like, all I have is this decon. And I'm like, okay, like go for it, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then he like was like offered draw on the decon cast and was like, but if I do stop you and you don't agree to a draw now, then the next player is definitely just going to win, right?
Yeah.
And like, and it kind of like was a weird way to like force a draw without actually having to resolve the decon. Because
Yeah.
like odds are you do stop them, right?
I mean, you
like,
could do the same thing just by showing the decon, right? Like I have the mana cast out, like I have it, but you know.
So I don't know. It's really difficult. You kind of have to be very good with your ways of words of convincing people to do things for you.
And I think
and
I think the
trying to run on
biggest
top of it.
question here for me is how do I keep the other players engaged?
Yeah,
That's impossible sometimes, and there's just nothing you can do about it.
yeah. I think the most that you can do is just talk to them throughout the game, right? Of like what their actions could be and should be. But I mean, there's been times where, and we've all been in these games where there's triple Ristic Study, one tithe, and some other stuff, and then there's a fourth player just like sitting there with Magda out, and they're just like, yeah, you're not in the game anymore, man. Like just get out. But it's really hard for them to be engaged in that situation. Maybe not so Magda, because Magda always has like an out to like maybe get out of those situations,
Mm-hmm.
because like they can just activate somehow and get there, right? I don't know. There's definitely been those games that it's really hard to keep those players engaged. But you also have to keep in mind that a lot of times those players that are playing those decks that put them into those situations are gaining advantage in other ways. Like it's usually like a turbo deck that has whiffed, and you're like, oh yeah, like we stopped you and now you're out of it, right? Like you had your part of the game and now it's our turn.
Yeah. And also, like, when you sit down at the table, try to identify if there's going to be a complex situation in the future. Try to identify which players might be engaged with that situation and which ones won't. Based, like Austin and I talked about earlier with our game, we knew that the other two players, just whichever one of us went for it, we weren't going to be stopped by the other two. So early on, I was trying to go like, hey, he's in first seat and he's just gonna like push. Like, is there anything we can do to stop him? Like, is there even during mulligans, I'm like, we might need to just chill for a bit if you guys like want to play your own game and not just lose. Because like, if Austin pushes for a win and we all lose, hey, guess what? You're not playing the game. You're not playing your Rakdos deck or your Naya deck. And you guys like need time and space to play those decks. So that's not going to happen if we just die. All right. Moving on, Dohas says, in the current meta of advancement of card quality and interaction, do you think if Flash was unbanned, that Flash Hulk would be as dominant as it was that led to its banning?
The answer is just no, in my opinion. I think Flash would be so safe to unban right now. I didn't play in the Flash Hulk meta, but I do think that right now the card quality has gotten so significantly better in our format from when that was banned that Flash Hulk is just like not the best thing to do, right? Like it is very scary, but Flash is just another way of saying Born Upon a Wind. But you also have to insert like 5 bad cards into your deck that feel insanely bad to draw.
I disagree with you, and here's why. Flash Hulk, yes, it takes up deck space, and that's probably one of the largest downsides to it, but it requires no other pieces or setup to execute. So with the current Flash enablers and stuff like that, you have to have other pieces. You can't just Born and then nothing else. You have to have Born, you have to have Mana Rocks, you have to have Breach, all that stuff, or Thassa, whatever. And same with Floodcaller, same with E-Zone, all that stuff. Whereas imagine a situation where you have a Ristic and you have 3 mana open or 2 mana open or something like that, but you don't have a Flash enabler. You don't have any of those pieces in your deck. All you have is Flash Hulk. And you go, okay, I'm going to just wait. I'm just going to sit and wait. You guys can play out your stack, do everything. Yeah. And then the person you least expect is just going to Flash Hulk. That doesn't feel good. Like that's not a play pattern that is healthy.
I agree with that statement, but I don't necessarily know if that thing would be as dominant as it once was.
I don't think it would be as dominant. I agree there because there's like more answers and stuff for it now, and people are playing more responsibly in a way, but also like I just don't think it's warrants an unbanning because of the broken nature of it. And there's too many games where it's like the combo is too spiky because you have Flash Hulk on turn 1 or turn 2.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, well, here's Flash Hulk, and everyone's like, well, I can't do anything about that. But like, where's the skill that's required for that aside from just putting the cards in your deck?
Yeah, but like you can kind of say the same thing about, okay, this is kind of crazy, but like Necropotence is kind of the same thing, right? Like if someone just like Dark Rituals Necropotence turn 1 and they have it up turn 1, like 90% of the time they're winning that game.
Yes, but it requires more turns and it requires you to draw the correct cards. It's not just a tutor.
Sure.
It does require skill and requires other things to happen. Yes, it's fast. It is broken. But it's not win the game instantly broken.
Yeah, I just don't think it'd be the strongest thing that people could be doing in CEDH right now.
Yeah, it's not the strongest thing, and like I said, it is very spiky, and I think that's the main problem. Is that like
Yeah.
at its worst, it's bad, like really bad, and then at its best, it is too good.
My thing is just the bad cards that are put in the deck, realistically. Like, I just don't want to draw those anymore, ever.
But also, like, do you want people just tutoring for, like, if they have one piece, that you just want them just tutoring for the other piece and then going, okay, here's win? That's also still not fun.
I hear what you're saying. Don't get me wrong, there's definitely downsides to it.
What is the upside? Like, just that we have another win con? I think that things are pretty diverse and good right now.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I don't know if it's like beneficial to unban. I
Right.
think it's just like safe, right? Like, I'm just like, oh, it's fine.
Mm.
Like, I don't think
that's where I
changes the
disagree. I don't think it's safe. I think it's like it's too volatile.
Yeah, I get that.
And unpredictable. Like at least with Necro, there's so many times where like, oh, do you like you're casting Dark Rit? Does that mean you have Necro next? Like we can predict that, right? And also like Dark Rit Necro doesn't work at instant speed on top of the stack.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is an interesting thought experiment. Corey Williams says, wow, that's a long one. Watching playing in a lot of games in League this month, there's a substantial pressure to push for a draw or agreeing to play for a draw. Sometimes this is the only out that players with low agency can push for, but it oftentimes creates an atmosphere of hostility, perhaps more so on Spell Table, where it's easier for communication to break down. Recognizing that sometimes a draw is the best outcome for an individual with incentives to both win, but in the worst case, not lose. How would a seasoned tournament goer such as a crit team advise players to navigate the negative emotions that arise from some players that actively play to draw or play to not lose? For me, it's like I try to detach, not successfully all the time, but I try to detach my emotions from like whether I'm winning or losing. And like I try to more attach that to like playing correctly. So if I'm playing cleanly and solidly and like making the right decisions and politicking well and trying to assess the game state well, if I'm doing all those things, like I'm happy. And if I'm not able to do those things for some reason, like that's where I get frustrated.
Yeah.
I'm less of an outcome driven player than I am like a process driven player. What do you think?
I mean, specifically like dealing with people that are trying to force the draw like way too early in your perception. I really try to logic people out of that conversation. Like, obviously we've all been in situations where like forcing a draw is the only thing you can do, and that's perfectly fine, right? And like trying to have the empathy of that person. Like, we've all been there where like I've got blown out and my only thing that I can do is have one piece of interaction, and it is to force a draw, right? Like it's happened to all of us. Trying to like logic people out that are not necessarily completely blown out. Like I've seen a lot of people just think that they don't have like a way of winning the game, but if you can like tell them that that's not true and actually show them a line of like, oh, this is like, you can still get there. Like, you're not necessarily out of the game. Like, you might get another turn. We played it in a top 4 on Saturday with a few players locally, and like one player was just like blown out, and I like offered him an olive branch of like, oh, go find your heuristic study. Like his answer was like, oh, there's no way that I'm getting another turn, and I was like, you don't know that, right? Like, you have to try to like play for your outs. Casting this spell and saying you're gonna go get this other thing to try to win instead, and me showing you a force of will is like making that situation worse, right?
Yeah.
So like I think that like logicking people into ways that they still can possibly win the game is one way to like handle it.
I had a player at Colorado Card Conquest in one of my rounds where they were so dead set on drawing from like the mulligan stage of the game that they wouldn't stop talking about drawing. Like, I even called a judge over and I said, like, this player is constantly saying to draw after like every single spell cast, and it's essentially just like slowing the game down. And at no point am I interested in drawing. And there was nothing in the game state that was like indicating that it was going to a draw. And I think some players, and really with an experience thing, they're just afraid of losing. And for lack of a better way to put it, like I think they're just so laser focused on like not losing that they can't see the win.
Yeah.
It's like you can't see the
I
forest for the trees.
I 100% agree with you. Like I think people when they're progressing in this format of like going from someone that's very new that is losing a lot, right? Which the stats say we should be not winning 25%, like 25% of our games. Like most of the time we should not be winning the game is what the stats say. And like when you go from that number being 80% of like, oh hey, I'm not winning 80% of my games, and you start seeing your progress points of I'm not losing all the time, like you think that's progress, but like in a lot of tournament grinders' minds, like draws feel almost as bad as not winning the game because you like get into top 16 and you are in fourth seat and your like advantage state in that spot is almost zero. And so like I understand where new players are when they're thinking about the progress of like going from losing all the time to like drawing a lot, to think that
And
translates well into winning a lot, and it just doesn't sometimes.
to be clear, draws as a new player, going from like losing most of your games to drawing many of your games is progression as a competitive player.
Yes.
I think that we can all agree on that. But converting draws into wins is much harder and requires much more work than just like not losing games, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I also think that like if we're talking about like going through negative emotions and talking to players after the game about like, you know, doing like a subtle coaching session of being like, okay, why do you think you got into the position where you couldn't win the game and you think you had to force the draw? And again, there is not an easy answer for that situation at all, but I think that, you know, reflecting on games with players to be like, why did you get put in that position instead of being put into a winning position or where a spot you think you can win?
Or did you do something to put yourself in that position like unknowingly?
Right. Like, did you push and get blown out? Like, then by all means, like this is what you should be doing. Like,
Or instead of like tutoring for a win, why did you tutor for like a value piece? Like, why didn't you
exactly.
like why didn't you just win? And like, oh
And
well,
so,
I don't know. It's like, well, you didn't identify the window correctly, therefore, like that's just like an example.
right.
And then what's
so,
even funnier about this, just real quick, is that like as you get more experience and you get better at winning games, like your win rate actually most of the time goes down again because then you're making that like top cut more often, and then like it re-normalizes back down to like that 25% once you hit top 16 because you have other players that are at the same stage that you are, and also like if you run into other players that are like higher level players, especially like I showed that Kinnan screenshot, those are all seasoned players in that pod. It is so likely that we draw that game that, you know, people that don't play cEDH clown on us because they're like, oh, well, you guys draw all the time. We're like, yeah, because I'm playing with really good players.
Yeah. Like we joke about it that like whenever we get paired up with 3 of 4 critical EDH players in one pod,
like,
we're like, yeah, we don't need to play this game.
Like, just draw. And yeah, that's not us colluding or anything. Like we play to our outs, but it doesn't matter because we're all equally skilled and therefore it draws.
But yeah, that's my opinion. Is I just try to like logic people. Like if someone is like super emotional about some of their decision making or how a game has gone, I really try to just like sit down with them and
if they're willing to accept it, like don't force it on them. If they're already in like an emotional kind of state, we're like, okay, I would love to talk to you about this if you're ready to talk to me about it. But if not, then like we can talk another time, or you can tell me to fuck off too. Like that's fine. Yeah.
That's a great question.
Navigating emotions is tough, and there's so many emotions that you can go through within the course of a game or a course of a tournament. This is something that I think that a lot of players deal with regardless of how seasoned you are. There's emotional things that happen to you. Even winning is like sometimes you just feel like you've given everything and then you win, and it's just like I've seen players just break down after hard win. It's tough. Like that's why it's fun. That's why there's a lot of like investment in like time and money and into this format.
Yep.
Parsley, interesting name, says, my friend is playing lower power bracket 4, so I'm having trouble explaining how Chrome Mox, Mox Diamond, and Gemstone are super good even with the resource loss that comes associated with those cards. I'd love some advice on this as I think they'd be a great cEDH player. I just need like the push to get them there. He says low power bracket 4s, like there's no fast mana 0-drop rocks and no breach, but they play things like Smothering Tithe or Sick Thoracle, etc.
I mean, just show them with examples, I guess, right? Like, Mox Diamond, Chrome Mox, Lotus Petal, Gemstone enable more turn 2 Necropotences than I think any other cards in the game right now.
But also just the prospect of untapping with more mana than you should on the next turn is like really excellent.
Yeah.
So like you go land, Mox Diamond, discard another land that you don't care about, and then play like a Talisman or Arcane Signet. You're untapping with 3 mana, and otherwise you would not be able to play Arcane Signet that turn. So you go from ramping from 1 to 3, whereas like otherwise you'd just be going like land, then Signet, and then you're like behind because you're -1 mana. The power spike is like turn 2, turn 3, really.
Yeah. I also think that like talking to them about the current power creep of Wizards of the Coast and the cards that are being printed, it is much easier for us to have an abundance of cards versus an abundance of permanent mana. And I don't think like permanent mana, like that stuff doesn't get printed ever anymore.
No.
Like they're afraid to print Lana War Elves into standard,
or they have to print Mox Jasper.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is really bad.
Which is very bad. It's not a good card. So it's easier for us to recover from that resource loss because we are playing the best card draw in the entirety of this game. And so it's very easy for us to recover from being down into 4 cards, because usually we take that abundance of mana and turn it into cards, or take an abundance of cards and turn it into mana.
The prospect of getting a Ristic Study on turn 3 versus getting it on turn 2 or even sometimes turn 1.
10 cards.
Yeah.
If not more. Like legitimately, if not more, right? So yeah, I think just like explaining to them that like it is much harder for us to make permanent mana and convert cards into mana versus mana into cards.
This also makes mana out of nowhere. So later in the game with things like Flash Enablers, like Floodcaller and Born, you can just deploy mana from nothing, and you can't do that with lands.
Yeah. I do think that there's some interesting part of this conversation. I know that when Rogthras was still really getting brewed, there were a lot of Rogthrases that were not playing Gemstone Caverns. And there's been a lot of conversation about some decks not playing Mox Diamond. I think that they are in general in the wrong, but there are certain decks in this format, and there will continually be certain decks in this format that can make an abundance of mana that need an abundance of cards more, and they find that more valuable than the permanent 1 mana that they can make. Again, I don't necessarily know if they are in the correct, but there is a conversation that happens about cards like this, that there are certain decks that can't take advantage of it the way that other decks can.
On the flip side of that, I think that conversation never touches decks like Farm, because
correct.
If we're looking at Farm as the best deck in the format, just being able to have a mana on turn 0 with Gemstone, if you high roll a Vamp Tutor and Lighten Tutor or anything, it's like, oh, okay, I'm just a leg up against everyone else. And then the concept of having 2 mana and then going DT on turn 1 or whatever, it's just you have to, while it's like a spiky play pattern to an extent, they're just good cards. There's nothing bad about them.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think right now, post Dockside banning, obviously this has been a year and a half now ish, or a year and a few months now. The format is like greedy for as much mana as we can possibly get.
Mm-hmm.
And cards, like getting cards in hand is not the problem right now. It's getting mana to cast said cards.
And mana fast, because we run on such a limited turn clock that we're off. I mean, we've talked about this on other episodes where we're at DEFCON 3. We like the first push is generally on turn 3. And if you're just all you have is 3 mana on turn 3, that's not enough most of the time.
No, not at all.
You have to have like 5 or 6 or sometimes even more.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's a difficult question to answer though. Like converting someone's opinion.
I actually think it's fairly easy to convert their opinion. Point them to the rules book, and one of the first rules you learn in Magic is that you can play 1 land per turn. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
So if we can accelerate past that 1 land per turn, you were doing something inherently broken.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, if you lose a card for it, it's like, okay, but what is that card actually doing for you? Nothing.
I think also like if you like point them into like modern or like old school theory, right? Like the Bolt the Bird is one of the most known rules of Magic, that if you can like stifle someone on their mana, then they like that tempo is just really bad for the other opponent.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't just translate into cEDH, obviously, just because like stifling one person's mana doesn't stifle everyone's mana. It just doesn't work like that.
I think we could change that. Instead of Bolt the Bird, it's like Bauble the Mox. Like
yeah, true. It's so funny. Yeah, like Lavinia, dude. Oh, Lavinia is such a good card right now. I love that card right now.
So long as you play it correctly.
Yeah, exactly. Rip my top 4 game.
Yeah.
No,
I just I like it. If you're breaking the laws of Magic, the base rules of Magic, generally speaking, that's what cEDH is trying to do. We are looking for ways to do that. We're looking for ways to draw more cards, make more mana than you should. There's so many times where I have 20 mana on turn 3 or 4 because I have a Smothering Tithe, and like that is objectively broken.
Yeah.
But we know it, and like that's part of how we factor into the play patterns of the format. I think as this player starts to play some actual cEDH, they'll start to realize these things, and not to say that they'll like leave bracket 4 behind, but they will realize, okay, this is decidedly different than what I'm playing right now.
Absolutely.
All right, I think that's about all we have for this week. Austin, you have anything else before we close out?
Just Merry Christmas. I was planning on wearing a reindeer onesie for this episode, but it's 78 degrees outside in Denver right now.
Yeah,
so
what the hell? We're gonna have the warmest Christmas on history, like on record.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
I have some gifts for the Critical EDH team that have not arrived, which means that I don't know when they're gonna get here because they're all custom. So hopefully I can show them off at some point. But they're very funny. They're like, I don't know if you'll actually use them, but they're very funny. So
that's fun. I'm stoked. I'm stoked for Fringe Fest.
Yeah, I think Fringe Fest is the next biggest thing for us that's coming up, and we're excited to like produce content about it. Like it's just so much fun every year, and just getting to play random thing. We're still playing cEDH though. Like that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
We're not.
Yeah.
It is jankier, but we're still going to see Underworld Breach. We're still going to see Thassos, and we're still going to see all that same stuff we're familiar with, but it's gonna be just like a little bit of flavor to it.
Another thing is a shout out Mana Vault Proxies. They sent me a Christmas gift.
Ooh.
They sent us 4 just like fully proxied decks. I'm excited to either give them away or sleeve them up and play them.
The Rowan deck, I need some kindling for my fireplace, so I'm gonna use that.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm just kidding.
But yeah, so I did go through some of their cards. Their printing quality has gotten a lot better. They feel like real cards. They definitely are sleeve playable, and apparently Baldy and Wayne have approved them for tournament play now. So
yep, and we're good with them as well, like in our events locally and online. So yeah, go support a local and also, or like not local, but a cEDH community member and tournament grinder, and also like veteran.
And if you want to order stuff from Mana Vault Proxies, use code CRIT and you'll get 5% or $5 off your order, I think is what it is.
Yeah, there's so many different things that we're affiliated with now. We have Mana Pool, The experience of buying on Maniple was great, by the way. I've got that new just gonna grab it real quick. Got that new Japanese fetch that I got.
Oh, nice, nice, nice.
And like that came out great. Like the packaging was fantastic. The communication with the seller was great.
Really crazy right now is I'm having really bad experiences with TCG Player, so I'm gonna start using Manapool a lot more.
Use Manipool. We have an affiliate link. I think you get a little bit of a discount, but it definitely gives back to us. Yeah, I picked up this. Oh, my camera's gonna freak out.
No, you're good.
Dragon Scale Arid Mesa Japanese,
Nice.
and it was much cheaper than the English version. It was like $110 after tax and shipping.
Jesus.
It's just nuts.
Nuts.
So, and then
yeah.
I think I'm going to add some like sneaky kind of additions to the prize pool for the Sprint League.
Okay.
Probably some red and green themed Christmas or something. I don't know. Maybe like a Natali or something. So look out for that. Otherwise,
other thing is I'm a part of the ska cult, dude.
No way.
Drunken Largest is the truth, bro. That card's the truth.
Yeah,
I'm part of the cult. That card is just bonkers.
I've undone some of the changes to farm. I'm on Stormkiln. I'm on Windfall now. I'm also on Trap.
What, dude? You're putting Trap back in?
Hey! Look! What creature's still not here.
There's still no Ranger Captain. There's not a Ranger Captain in Chowder either.
It feels good. Feels really good.
Double wipe sucks, bro.
Yeah, I'm off of DRC, Flare, Jessica's Will, and Rog, and Snapback.
The Rog, dude. What is that Vandal Blast doing in this
area? Oh, this is like the wrong printing anyway. Vandal Blast is like, I don't know. There's something there. I don't know that it's like great.
I don't think I play Vandal Blast over Meltdown. If I'm like looking for this effect, I think Meltdown's better.
No, because it gets rid of your stuff.
Yeah, it's fine.
But like Vandal Blast answers Stamping Sphere, and
yeah, true.
It's just 1 mana destroyed an artifact, but also 5 mana. Your opponents have nothing, which is like, it's pretty solid. Sometimes you just make a lot of mana. This is back when I was like very Jessica's Will, just looking for things to do.
Sure. Looking for somewhere to dump the red. That makes sense.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see how farm feels. Oh yeah, I'm on Swords.
That's crazy.
Well, I'm on Skos. Like these like little 1 mana things like actually convert into whatever color.
This Saturday I had Ska Kinnan out, and I there was an opposition agent on Raoul's table, and I worldly tutored to trigger Ska, to mental misstep my worldly tutor to trigger Ska, to have enough mana to cast Adnos. And they're like, what just happened, dude?
That's pretty cool. So you had like what, 3 mana or something, and then you went for.
I had 1 mana. I had 1 mana for the worldly tutor. Or I had 1 treasure.
Oh, yeah. So you had 2 mana. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I was like, dude, I'm never cutting Ska, dude. This is so dumb.
It is a very dumb and broken card, especially if you can do stuff with like Brain Freeze and Flusterstorm and.
Oh yeah.
All right. Yeah, Yogswill, dude. Yogswill.
Dude, Yogswill. Jason picked up that Yogswill.
I'm coping. Mine's signed. Mine's better. His isn't signed.
he picked up the Judge Yogswill basically for free because we just donate to him every week, and he just got a free.
Speak for yourself, bro. I don't donate to Jason.
That's true.
I put up a fight.
There are other people that donate to Jason. I do end up making money most tournaments, so I can't say that I'm part of the donation plan.
You still need that W though.
I still do need that W. I punted so hard on Saturday, and it makes me so mad.
Any other things that are on your radar end of the year, like kind of? I mean, we're getting real close.
Just planning on hitting a lot of tournaments. Actually, in the next 6 months, I think we're traveling a lot, which is crazy.
I don't know that I can say the same personally, but I know that Critical EDH and overall is going to travel, and we're going to try to get some good traveling content and tournament reports, in-person review or interviews and stuff like we've done in the past, and I think people really like. 2026 is going to be a good year, and 2025 was just, gosh, it's one of my favorite experiences playing Magic. It was so good. This whole year was great.
Agreed. I'm super stoked. I'm stoked for next year. But yeah,
Last thing, anything on your Christmas list magic wise?
more altars, realistically. Like I've bitten the altar chain.
Do you
I'm
have any on
now
your desk to show off?
well, so I have these guys that I just bought. These are
You might have to unblur your
unblur.
background.
Yeah,
Yeah.
here, hold on. We'll unblur the background. You guys get to see. All right. So I just picked up this guy, which is the retrofoil Woody Footy. You
Ooh,
know, and then we just picked up the Windswept Heath as well.
nice.
Also retrofoil. So I've got the full collection, other than the Polluted Delta, but it's because I have an Invasion signed Polluted Delta, so I'm
Jeez.
not replacing that one. But those are the only things, and then I have some altars that I ordered recently.
Well, you have all
that-
those altars that we got for the artist month, right? That we're gonna end up giving out at some point.
yeah, I have some right here. I really do like to show off this Mystic Remora. This thing, I don't want to give it away. I really don't.
God, that's sick.
It's so sick.
That's especially cool because I don't have a Remora that I like, and like I have all of them. I don't like any of them.
Yeah,
I have like this one, and like it's fine. It looks good, but it's just not quite it.
it's just not there, right? There's this Carpet of Flowers. I like this card. This is a
Holy
nice
crap!
altar. Yeah, it's a really good by the same person.
Wow.
These are all done by Eerie
Oh,
altars. Yeah, and then we have an Elvish Mystic or Elvish Spirit Guide, which is done really well. This is by Ducky. There we go. That's done by Ducky. So yeah, we're gonna be giving all these away. We're waiting on some more altars to show up so we can do it all. I think we're gonna just be giving them all away next week.
oh, I've got 2 altars and a signed card in my binder that's also gonna go towards that. So
Nice. And then I have a shout out Nox altars. We don't have any screenshots or anything like that from them, but they do really, really good work, and I'm getting my Nas and my Dark Ritual altered by them.
nice.
And I literally sent them just being like, make it creepy. And he's like, yep, sounds great.
But otherwise, if you want to see more of the altars, bling, and all that stuff, go check out the art channel in our Discord. Check out the bling channel. There's absolutely crazy stuff happening there. Check out Loot's Instagram, which is new.
Oh yeah, I got that recommended recently, and I'm like, oh no, I don't want to be a part
I
of
don't
that.
want to open it, dude. I'm gonna get mogged again.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right.
Dude, his Rockside deck. Oh,
It's so
beautiful.
good. I think that's
Other than
all for us for this week. But thanks for joining us for this special Christmas episode of Virtual Keeping Tabs.
virtual tabs,
Yeah.
dude. Yep.
All right.
All right.
That's all from us. Bye. See you next time.